In 1980s, oil shale was boom industry that time. I was going to school at Colorado State University. So we had a project for my PhD work to look into to dispose spent shale after extracting the oil. We came up with this idea that when you burn oil shale to extract oil, you are decarbonating it. So the carbon dioxide is leaving the system from the combustion. So we said we take the spent shale and then recarbonate that spent shale with carbon dioxide. It's called mineral carbonation process. It is a very kinetically very slow process. We came up with called acceleration of the process. We called accelerated mineral carbonation process. 6-7 months process we cut down to hours. You can minimize flue gas carbon dioxide emissions from the combustion process, as well as you can fix the contaminants in the solid byproduct coming out of the process. Both ways it was advantageous. So many scientists, engineers worldwide tested this idea for steel plant waste, cement plants, hospital solid waste, incinerated ash, you name it. All these studies, they're all done in the lab, most of them. So in 2005, we said, we should go to the field and then try to really test this idea. We had a project with a small-scale fluidized bed reactor, and then we took that and then went to the Jim Bridger power plant. And then we found out you can capture flue gas carbon dioxide without separation directly, and then simultaneously you can mineralize too on the ash particles. So we were encouraged. Then we went into built a bigger scale model, 10 to 15 times bigger than what we did in the preliminary study. This is the interdisciplinary, my research life is all different fields. We work with engineers. We have a chemical engineer on the project. We have an economist. We have geochemist. All kinds of different expertise are involved in this project. When I was doing research for removing selenium from uranium-produced waters, it was working all right with one of the technique we developed, but it was working even much better for arsenic. Then we created a project saying we were using that time, cupric oxide nanoparticles. Can we use those to see if we can remove arsenic? So that's how we began. We tested some with the initial groundwaters. It worked very well. But we had a lot to learn about this technology. So we continued with it. We have received now 2 patents on removing arsenic and then regenerating these cupric oxide particles. So now, last 7-8 years, arsenic became a huge global health issue. Since what happened in Bangladesh and India, where people are poisoned by drinking arsenic-rich, groundwater. We extended all that arsenic research across United States. Now we are also working in India, and then trying to, apply this novel technique we developed using cupric oxide nanoparticles to remove arsenic, almost to 90% using the patented technique we developed. So now we are developing a filter actually for household units. The water coming out of this activity in Rocky Mountain area is a large volume. It's almost you're talking in trillions of cubic meters. So we have done a lot of research through my students, and then we found out how best we can use the produced water in semi-arid conditions like in West. Can we use it for livestock drinking or wildlife watering, or we can use it for irrigation, or you can use it for aquatic, aquaculture, things like that. We have a landowner network across the Powder River Basin. We have developed techniques to explain to the landowners, industry, as well as regulatory people that in which watershed in the Powder River Basin has high salt concentration. So we've been doing this for the last 12 years. So we summarized everything into a book. not only from US experts but also globally, like Canada, China, India, and New Zealand, and then Australia. I believe at university we have freedom. It's your intellectual thinking, you can develop idea, take that idea all the way to application. End of the day, I think I enjoyed it, every bit of so far. It's very rewarding working at the university, working with students and then going out publishing. I think this Ag Experiment Station Award is unique. I think it will encourage, not only in the college, but also across the campus, others to excel in their research and then teaching, because this is the first time they began, which is a great idea, I believe, because we need motivation once in a while, as we go along. This is a long process of university, You start out and then you go through this long tenure process. So anything along this line, encouragement, motivation is great. I wish they have, more like this, so that we can reward more faculty staff, and then that will push them into, doing, outstanding research or teaching.